There we go. Good evening, Bear Nation.
Hang on.
I'm live. I see me. How is everybody? We're great, Bear. Awesome. Glad to hear it. We'll just deal with the elephant in the room. Thank you guys so much for your prayers and support. I'm humbled and I appreciate it. And I'm making it. No, I'm not great, but I'm making it. And I appreciate y'all a lot. So thank you for keeping us covered in prayer. Why is everybody bouncing off of this? Can you see me or not?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, okay, good. Bless you, right arms. And all of you, really, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not good with emotions. It's not that I don't have them. I just really try not to use them. The emotions are a biomechanical feedback mechanism about what you value. And if you pay attention, you'll see what you value. And I valued my dad. So thank y'all. Now that we destroyed the mood of the room, what are we going to talk about? No, we got to wait for...
Yeah, wait just a little bit.
More people.
Yeah, we got to wait just a little bit.
Yeah. I got a video I got to post.
Tommy made
I
content.
made a content, y'all. I think it's only been a year and a half. I finally have a video, and Renee watched it, and it's not horrible. So
It's a little telephone voicey, but it's good.
yeah. So I guess I'm gonna post that.
That would be a good idea.
It's like 15 minutes long.
I know.
It's good.
You did all right.
But yeah, what are we doing tonight? We got strawberries, caramel apples.
Yeah, we have caramel apples, sliced strawberries, and plums in there tonight. And I've done broccoli and mushrooms and ground beef and sausage links and rotel and green chilies. So I'm starting to feel more comfortable with it.
Earl's daughter, I got your email. Thank you very much, sister.
Because, yeah, me making content while being a dodo bird. Because I'm still figuring it out.
We should do the content of just us eating it.
Yeah. Well, we'll do taste testing.
Sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, I got ice cream sandwiches to do and Skittles. And what else do we get? Bananas. And I got some more broccoli because that's why I bought a freeze dryer. Was so I could freeze dry broccoli and some asparagus.
The whole reason is the broccoli.
The whole reason. Yeah. Yeah. You can't preserve broccoli. And it's one of our staples.
Chicken, cheesy, broccoli, rice bake.
Somebody asked, how did we arrive at the 27th for our Passover? I'm going to answer that directly, but you're not going to like the answer. It doesn't matter. Pick a date that you think works for you and go with it. The Father cares much more about the condition of your heart than whether or not you have precisely had the dates right. And yeah, Zach from New to Torah is doing it in April. Got all the love in the world for that, brother. We're doing it on the 27th. It does not matter. Yeah, go read Exodus 12. Go read Leviticus 23. Go read Numbers chapter 9. And whatever determination you come to for you, you do you.
Matthew Scannell said he's teaching his older sons how to change brakes and rotors this weekend, and then they're putting food in buckets and turning honey into adult beverages.
That's a good weekend.
That's a nice weekend.
That's a good weekend. Arkansas living Shalom.
When that honey beverage is done, he should bring it on over.
So apparently Biden's online.
Online for what?
I don't know.
Like
On what line? What line?
Much rather watch the blue
What
collar
line is he
president.
smoking?
So this is probably going to be an R-rated broadcast this evening. I don't give a shit about Biden being on. Talking points. That's all it's going to be is talking points. Found 50-pound bags of organic hard white wheat, $33 per bag. Good deal. First plant's going in the ground. I dig it. Thank you, Cinder Loner. Got my new bear sticker. Very cool. Blue collar press, right? So, well, let's go ahead and do the winner then.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. All right, I gotta. Oh, hold on 1 sec. I gotta hit this first. Can you discuss burial versus resurrection, and will it affect resurrection at the end of times? The argument there is that if you don't have a body to resurrect, then you can't be raised in end times. I'd counter that with ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We were formed out of the dirt of the ground. And if you think that the creator of the universe can't put your ass back together again, you're wrong. He can and will do whatever he sees fit to do. It's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. It's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. And I think people that make it an issue are just looking for some bullshit to turn into stumbling blocks. So, all right. Gosh, sorry for the vibe, y'all. Patreon. Loot box winner. For all the marbles. One of the marbles is this Brain Buckets by Billy at brainbucketsbybilly.com. This was given to us. So this is one of the components. It's a ballistic helmet. It's not a bump helmet. It's a ballistic helmet. Very reasonably priced. You can get these at brainbucketsbybilly.com. Yep. And you have here basically a MAC bag mass casualty kit from refugemedical.com. And it's got all the things in it. I showed on, and this is for the $5 and up patrons. I showed on video on Patreon what all was in here. But you start with, there's 4 tourniquets in here. And there's, this is also a one-off. This product doesn't exist. This is just something I put together.
And no, you can't have one.
You've got your decompression needles, your chest seals, your airways, 5x9s in here for your airway and respiratory package. You've got gauze in here. If you wanted something like this, you would get the Mac 4 out of the store. You've got in here, you've got your wound packing component with 3 combat gauze, 3 compressed gauze, and your gloves. Then you've got your pressure bandages, tapes, cohesive component here, module for that. You've got two SAM splints to go with those cohesive bandages for making a C-collar or immobilizing a busted limb, something like that. And then you've got a North American Rescue quick litter as well. So all in a multicam day pack. So that is also part of the loot. And then lastly, an HRT tactical plate carrier in multicam with the placard. Thank you, Phelps. With the, it'll do 3 AR mags up front and 2 pistol mags up front. The cummerbund with the quick disconnect. A bare minimum from refugemedical.com. Blowout kit. Level 3 plates from Spartan Armor, courtesy of AdventureFrontier.com, as well as the trauma pads are in there. And it's got the day pack on the back that is the perfect size for carrying your helmet and or your snackies. So, what?
The magazines are yours.
Yeah, the magazines are mine. You don't get my mags. Especially after all the gun control bullshit that's going on in the house today. So, that is what everybody is playing for. And we're going to draw a name out of the brain bucket.
Oh, I'll be right back.
What are you
sending Ashley
Yeah.
stuff?
What are you doing?
I gotta send.
She's doing something I asked her to do like 4 times this week.
These are all the names of the $5 and up patrons that entered. They're going in here. And we will draw one of these live on camera for you. And again, we do this every month. If we don't have a winner at the end of the month, we take the existing prize and add to it and move to the next month, which is how you ended up with a fully loaded plate carrier, plates, a mass casualty kit, and a ballistic helmet, because people just, we had several people that won but never responded. So you have 72 hours to respond to claim your prize. And if you don't, we're going to add a stomp bag to this as well.
So maybe we shouldn't.
For the next drawing. So either way.
Maybe whoever gets it shouldn't win. They should try to win next month.
So either way, next month, the prize is a stomp bag from refugemedical.com. But we'll see who wins. I'm not looking.
She'd like you to review the rules before.
Am I being? Who's saying this, Monica? Why do the rules matter? We're at the drawing now.
Be sure to review the rules for the person whose name is drawn.
Okay. If you win, you have 72 hours to email us. Where? admin@Bear Independent. And if you don't claim your prize, all of this will be folded into next month's giveaway. So, also, you cannot win if you are not a $5 and up patron. And we will confirm right now, after the name is drawn, that you are indeed a $5 patron in good standing.
You can't look at them.
I know. That's why I'm not. I'm just mixing them up.
Oh.
Just mixing them up.
Am I gonna pick it?
I'm just mixing them up. Just mixing them up. Got it?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Oh, we lost one.
And one more. Okay.
Rules matter. She's yelling rules. They have until 11:59 Central Standard Time Sunday night.
Hold on. So why don't you read the dang rules then? Because I don't have them in front of me.
I don't either, but Monica texted me. So we have till 11:59 Central Standard Time Sunday night. They have to email admin@Bear Independent with their name, phone number, and mailing address.
Okay.
Rules matter.
Rules matter.
And exclamation points and all caps.
Okay. So
From Monica.
So if you don't follow the rules, Monica's gonna schwack your pee-pee.
Is that what RM stands for?
No.
Rules matter.
If you don't follow the rules, Monica's gonna schwack your pee-pee, and you don't get any of this cool gear. So you have 72 hours, 11:59 at
Central Standard Time
some
Sunday.
some friggin' night to email us. All right, babe.
You ready?
Go
Ready
on.
for me? I think I'll pick.
You gotta pick just one.
I know. I gotta see which one speaks to me. Here we go. Got it.
Something too much fun in it.
Michael DePriest.
The priest. Hold on. We got to go back over here to
We gotta
Patreon.
verify your eligibility.
Patrons. Relationship
He
manager.
said getting your pee-pee track normally costs extra.
Okay, hold please.
I'm holding.
Monica is tough. We want to know, schwacked with what?
Whatever is close.
They're in a mood tonight, aren't they?
Michael the Priest is a $5 patron in good standing. Status is currently paid, and his join date was June 27th, 2020.
Nice.
So, Michael the Priest, good news. You're eligible and legit, and the clock starts now. And if you don't claim your prize...
That's not how you pronounce kosher dad.
And if you don't claim your prize by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, we're adding a stomp bag to this as well, and we will do another drawing.
She must be watching.
Monica just said he's good. She's over there doing her thing.
She's so involved tonight.
She is.
What is up with this? Usually she's
Not
like,
enough wine.
it's past 7, it's wine o'clock, don't talk to me. So
So don't send the search party out for Michael till Monday.
after this, we will do a stomp bag next. So thank you to all the $5 patrons, $5 and up patrons. If you're at the $5 level or up, you're eligible. And Michael the Priest, go. Ball is in your court. So
All the people's comments are like, Michael just emailed me and he said I can have it.
don't be bearing false witness, Bear Nation.
Awesome, John. Yeah, we're shipping those things out like crazy. We're shipping all orders out like crazy.
Uh-huh. Somebody got the slim kit already.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think right now I'm at March 4th.
Tactical Torah said he had his email ready to go.
I saw that.
Except for one customer. I'm waiting on a USB. That's the only thing the only one I'm late on.
Yeah, these patron giveaways are monthly, right?
Somebody said I
Yeah.
have 72 hours to legally change my name.
Better get crack-a-lacking.
Yes, these are monthly.
Try again next month.
Well, Elizabeth, we like you too. We don't like your poo. We like you too, even if you're not a patron. So, yeah, the fat bearded guy FAQ is next. Trust me, we've been researching developing this for a long time, Storms.
And Woodland's possibly coming. It all depends on demand. Like,
we've had a lot of people ask about Woodland.
Delivered.
We've also had a lot going on, so we haven't done it yet. All right, so there we be. Legitimate questions. Bear, are you doing back to Eden gardening? Negative. We tried back to Eden gardening, but we had 2 critical issues. The first was back to Eden is great when you are in a low moisture environment. We've had record rainfall the last 2.5 years, so it was horrendous. Way too much moisture in the soil. Way too much moisture in the soil. Major issue. The next was we made a mistake and missed the critical step of covering the plot to let the latent seed bank in the soil die off before you plant in it. So we had a back to Whedon garden because everything that was in the soil grew up. And it was horrendous. So critical failure on our part, but even had we not done that, we still would have had to deal with the fact that our rainfall has been crazy.
Yeah.
Love that I could use my HSA money to pay for a couple of bear facts. Yeah, all of our kits and components are HSA and FSA compliant. So
you just can't use it to buy a sticker.
Yeah, don't put a sticker in your box. Hey, do we have a new sticker?
I don't know. Do we have a new sticker?
It's on mine.
It's all right, Joshua. You're going to make it.
It's on my notebook.
Hey, Raincat, it's okay. It's okay that back to Eden didn't work for us. The point is that the point is you don't, just because something, especially gardening wise, works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for another. And so there's no cure-all. There's no magic formula when it comes to gardening, which is why I'm up y'all's ass all the time to go grow food, because those of y'all that don't, when you think that, oh, I'm just going to do back to Eden, or I'm going to do a straw bale garden or whatever, when it matters, it might not work for you. And if you don't know that now, if you're not learning that now, you're going to die of starvation at some point. And I don't want you to die about starvation. So don't die, plant a garden. Okay. But do it now. So
What do you know about Hudson Sawyer Mills?
not a damn thing. Who's Hudson Sawyer Mills? Where are they? What do they do?
Someone was asking about.
I don't know.
I don't know what that
Purchasing one.
is. What is that?
This is the sticker of the month. Action over anxiety. And that terrible little illustration right there, I did with a pen. And then Chad just and that's my handwriting right there.
I'm at a party.
So Chad did what he did. So action over anxiety is the current sticker of the month.
It won't let you.
You can do no links.
Oh, let me.
Veryindependent.com.
Didn't let me.
Refugemedical.com. That's where you go.
No, you go to medical. This is very important.
There's some. I'm getting lost.
Get your shit straight.
I give up.
It's a new personality that she has.
I know. The DG. I have
DGF.
yeah.
What else we got?
Patreon's quiet. They need to.
Scott
People-
says, Bear, been following you since the Texas
Oh,
days,
there we
brother. Just want to say thank you for what you do. It has helped bring me back to talking with the Most High on the daily as well as prepping.
Nice.
Bless you, Scott. The father is badass.
Somebody said, I hear Phelps in the background. What's up?
Yes, Phelps is here.
Yep.
Phelps is here.
Did Potato ever get the mouse?
Do you still, hey, Reese Herman, what's up? Do you still play drums like how you did back in the early 2000s? I asked because I always looked up to you. I thought you were the coolest person in the world. Reese was, bless you, Reese. Reese was like friend/boyfriend with one of my sisters back in the day.
Ah.
Yep. Man, I appreciate that, Reese. Yes, I still play the drums. No, I don't share much of that at all. I just very recently, within the last couple of weeks, did a video for Patreon about tuning the drums and then playing them. But I don't play them for people anymore. I play them for me. It's one of the few facets of my life that I don't share with anybody. And that keeps it special and exciting and interesting for me.
Several people have asked for an update on the Caleb House project.
I see it. Carrie, bless you. We're still saving for land. We're working with Operation Underground Rescue to build out this facility so that it meets their requirements, because their requirements meet or exceed state, local, and national requirements for a restoration facility. I'll be frank with you. We don't have all the money we need, so we're fundraising. And so we're still in the fundraising process before we can execute on anything else. It takes on average 2 to 3 years to build one of these restoration facilities. I am more ambitious than that, but without the funds, nothing happens. So we're still fundraising. We're also planning deployments in the springtime for another ministry that's nearish to us, but in Arkansas. It's doing something similar. It's an equine therapy facility that works with surviving or trafficking survivors. So we'll be assisting them. But we're in that awkward phase where we need money, and it's very difficult to buy land without money. We have about half the amount of money that we need to buy land. And it feels like interest in Caleb House has fallen off. People were very on board at first with supporting us and all that. And I don't know if it's COVID or the economy or Biden or the overwhelming economic issues and societal issues that are out there, but support has just dropped off. There are several of y'all that support regularly, and it's greatly appreciated. But being completely frank, there's no money there. We need more money to buy the land. Once we can buy the land, then we can move forward with the construction. So that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm. We have some questions.
You know the lottery
Patreon
numbers.
now.
What?
Seth Graves,
You know the lottery numbers because everybody we ask doesn't know them.
Yeah.
Seth Graves said, thank you for your Prepper Classroom videos as well as all your Patreon content.
Bless you, Seth Graves.
Ideas for defense if you can't get a firearm for being too young.
We get this question a lot. Let's piss some people off. Ideas for defense if you can't get a firearm because you're too young. Situational awareness and avoidance is a great place to start. The vast majority of you, bless you, Texas T. Thank you. And by the way, I appreciate the super chats, but I'll tell you straight up, the best way to give to Caleb House is go to grindstoneministries.com and click donate now. Because first of all, YouTube takes 30% of every super chat. And it doesn't mean I don't like the super chats. I love them. That helps us greatly. But YouTube takes a percentage. Next, the revenue from YouTube goes into a different account than Caleb House, as it should, because those are two completely separate and separated things. And so it creates work for us to have to go back and track what came in from this and move it over there and put it in this account and do this. And then we have to rectify the books with our CPA, and it's a mess. So the best way to donate to Caleb House is to go to grindstoneministries.com and click the donate now button. And I appreciate y'all very much. Can't get a gun because you're young. What do I do for defense? Step one, avoid the conflict. Next, there's lots of things you can do that cost you nothing and have nothing to do with your age. Do body weight calisthenics, run, jump, do push-ups, do pull-ups, do air squats, do leg lifts, do planks, do crunches, swing a kettlebell, or if you don't have a kettlebell, then get a cinder block. And if you don't have a cinder block, get a feed sack and fill it with dirt, whatever. Flip tires over, train your body, train your mind, deal with hard things. I'm sure you know somebody that knows how to fight. Go ask them to teach you how to fight for $0. A lot of people go, knives. Okay. Rule one of a knife fight is you're going to get cut. So, and knives are up close personal things. The thing about a firearm is it gives you standoff capability. That's why we like it, because I don't have to be within touching distance of you to use it, right? I can project force wherever. As far as the firearm can reach, I can project that force. So a knife is a utilitarian tool. It can be used as a defensive and offensive weapon, but the people that use them as defensive and offensive weapon are highly trained in their use. So,
It's very much an extension of that physical training and the skills that you learn with hand-to-hand.
Yeah.
You can definitely exponentially improve those skills with a knife, but without those skills, it's a liability.
Yep, for sure. Well, it's a lot like firearms. People think they're a magic wand. They've got one, now they're good to go. And it's like, you're actually, I could understand the argument to say that you're better off not having a gun than you are having a gun and not knowing how to use it. Because the false sense of confidence that you get when you have a firearm You are a danger. You are a danger to yourself and everyone around you if you don't know how to use it. So, did I miss the drawing? Hey, Chad. Yes, you did, apparently.
Something someone said jokingly was eat beans and gas them out. But you can also utilize a whistle to draw attention to any kind of situation where you're having to defend yourself from. And that's something anyone can carry a whistle on their day pack.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is just drawing attention, something that breaks up the average person's normal routine.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, there's a high-pitched whistle. What's going on over here? Suddenly you have 6 people looking at what's going on.
Yep. Forrest throws like a boss. Your axe throwing.
Yeah, you'll see that.
Broke all the
He
axes.
said knives.
Oh.
I'd also caveat on that a point that Dudley brought up. You know, some people think batons.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay Dudley will illustrate to you, if you give him the opportunity, you get one chance.
Yeah.
With a baton.
That's just the swing. You want to win.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But cons are easier to grab too. Like if someone's swinging at you, it's easier to.
Yeah.
It's like,
It all comes back to idealism increases with distance from the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The really skilled people will be the first people to tell you they don't know everything, or they know half of 1% of everything. John Murray, bless you. Planted our cabbage this afternoon. 36 head cabbage plot is named Bear as we prayed for your family after we planted. Bless you. Fresh pinnos, we just eat them as they grow. You can air dry them or can them. So. Do you have any law enforcement or military background? No, not directly. I worked with those guys, not as one of those guys. Too young, maybe, for an FFL transfer, but not a private transaction. Well, that depends on how the legislature, you know what I mean, the legislation goes. So, what else we got?
We've got
Next.
It did take longer than usual to hit the FAQ.
That's true.
How is the Mac 4 Mac 8 different from 4 to 8 Fairfax?
Well, that's a great question. The Mac 4 and the Mac 8 is predominantly designed for somebody who's in law enforcement or a first responder type person that's dealing with a mass casualty incident. And so if I'm the sheriff and I go into a school where there's not bleeding control kits after a active shooter situation, I now have a bag on my back that has the ability to treat 16 plus casualties. So the difference there is that the equipment is centralized for 1 or 2 caregivers in one kit rather than being an individual first aid kit like this, which runs on my kit. If I have a problem, I can problem solve for myself with this kit. The Mac is basically a giant, it's a giant IFAC. That's what it is. It's not advanced medicine, it's trauma medicine, but it's large quantities of the items required for arterial bleeding, junctional bleeds, tension pneumothorax, sucking chest wounds, yada, yada, yada. All your common battlefield injuries all put into one bag so that 1 or 2 caregivers can, the sheriff can pull that bag out of his pickup truck and run into a situation rather than having to have 8, 10, 12, 16 of these. That's all it is. It's a giant IFAC. Same concept as the IFAC, same algorithm, March algorithm, massive bleeding, airway, respiratory, circulation, hypothermia, and head injuries. That's what it's for. But it's for localized events where there's a mass casualty incident. So the only difference really is quantity of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sheriff's office I bought the first one that we designed. It came out of the Mac 4. And they said they take that thing everywhere. Every mission they go on, that goes with them.
Yep, for sure. Because if you have somebody, if you have a bunch of people shot, stabbed, and blown up, you got to have the stuff to work with. And I guess the other difference I would illustrate is the individual. I touched on this, but the individual first aid kit is for me to use on me, whereas the Mac is for a caregiver to use on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and yeah, I mean, so many of our kits have a specialized purpose. Like they are duty built. That you have a specific thing in mind, and we provide the best things for that situation. It's like with the Cub kit, like the Cub Pro. That's geared more towards use on kids or smaller framed people, as opposed to the Bear Pack or the Bear Min. Like, it gives you the basics that you need in order to stop a bleed or a traumatic event.
Somebody else, how do you undo the clips?
Really? All right.
Are you gonna do a demonstration?
Yeah.
Do we have one?
Yeah.
No, it's just you would just like
You just squeeze and pull.
Squeeze
you
and
don't
pull.
squeeze nothing. You just pull it.
Squeeze and pull.
Squeeze and pull. Then pop it and lock it.
Pop it and lock it.
Okay. These are the clips on the back. Okay. And they're probably hard to see, but there you go. See? They just latch together. That's all you got to do right there. Just like, yeah, just. Oh, yeah, it's going to be like that, huh? No, I'm trying to do it for the camera, but it didn't work. Okay.
Fingers. Yeah.
So right there, you just push on that tab. And then now it's unlocked. So as you can see, unlocked. Right? That's it. Unlocked. So they just snap together. I did it. I'm a big kid.
Good job.
I expect
Good job,
applause.
Yay.
Thank you. See?
I need to do a video on
I'm
it.
done.
Not everybody else. is
And then you just put your molly through.
Everybody that orders one a video.
Yes. Watch this live
Or
stream.
just have it as a video on the listing. We can embed
So-
a video on the listing so they can see.
That's how they work. And we went to those for a couple of reasons. The first is that they're slightly better retention than a brass, what do you call that? Snap. But button. But also they're easier to install in the manufacturing process than a brass button. So and if they break, they're easier to replace as well. So
Somebody asked how we met.
they also said we're a cute couple.
I know.
Tom with the T.
We don't swing.
I think they need glasses.
Yeah.
Well, that is a frequently asked question. So, not the swinging part. What is wrong with you over there?
She's lost.
How much drinking have y'all done before we started?
Not enough.
No.
I don't know. Just the whole she immediately was like, "But we don't."
No swinging.
It's like she's heard this question before.
Maybe from a tree, but so how did we meet? We met online.
True.
We did.
One of them online dating
On
services.
one of those online dating services that we got matched and he was a big, scary grizzly bear. But for some reason, I just couldn't keep my eyes off of him.
Standing in front of some big old yellow iron.
His safety vest on and hard hat and cigarette half dangling out of his mouth. And I was just like, dang, he's sexy. And so, yeah, we ended up writing and talked online back and forth for a while, and then talked on the phone for a while. And then
Bears only got
I had a
I don't think that's right kind of site stores.
we had a big family like get together, cookout, and him and I had never met. He had never met my family, and I invited him over, and he came and brought beer.
Good beer.
Good beer.
Shiner. They
Yeah.
said, hey, pick up some beer on your way over. And I said, okay, what kind of beer? And she said, Shiner. I was like, there's a chance. There's a chance this is the one.
Bearsonly.com.
If it was like,
Not the right place.
you know, pick up some Truly or some White Claw, you know, I'd be like,
Hell no, I can't stand that stuff. Well, even tonight, I'm drinking Corona, which this is about as light as I get.
and here we are.
Yeah. Here we are.
I got a headache like you wouldn't effing believe.
I bet. If I get
Typically speaking, you know what? Email us. How's that? Email us at admin of Bear Independent. But typically speaking, it's one seat. You're buying your seat. Like when you go to the movie
your
theater,
spot. Yeah.
if you bring your wife, you
Did
buy
you get
2
the
tickets,
vaccine?
not one. Did you get the vaccine? Who the hell asked me that question?
I asked if
Oh,
we got the vaccine.
Fiveys.
Midwest. It's 5 versus 1.
Five
Versus 1.
I always say
He,
fiveys.
she, whoever.
Bless
goes
you,
back.
Midwest Mini Homestead.
I think because I'm drinking Corona.
Find
Oh, I was so confused.
find your
I'm like,
hibernate.
"No, you're not new.
Keith, the cattle are doing great. Thank you for asking. And for everybody who said that our little cattle shelter was going to fall down due to the snow, you were wrong.
Right.
And for everybody who said that was an adequate shelter for those cows, you were wrong.
They survived. They
loved
were
it.
happy.
They loved that
Yeah.
thing.
They
They went
were-
in there and like had a little party.
Yep. They're great and they look delicious and I can't wait to eat them or their babies. So one or the other. Which I was talking with a brother yesterday. What a shitty scenario. Like on the one hand, you got food, water, shelter taken care of, but on the other hand, you live inside the fence, and I'm either going to eat you or your kids. There's no like maybe this ends well for you, right? And so it you could extrapolate that all the way down to like don't get on the bus, don't go to the camp. Because, yeah, you're inside the fence and you're warm and protected and there's food and water and everything. Every need has been met. Just, I'm either going to eat you or your kids. It's going to happen.
So if he ever says, come,
Yeah, if there's ever an open invitation to bear camp, you know that
I'll
something's
pay
up.
for everything.
I'm either
I'll
going to
feed
eat you or your kids. So.
Should be a sticker.
And y'all know me. We love children, so it's not your kids I'm gonna eat. So
She does need a lime in that beer.
no, you put the lime in the coconut. Yeah, there's a Torah for that.
I guess, was our family against us when we first moved out on the land?
No,
Or are they on board with you now?
I'll answer that, and then you can back it up. Not only were they supportive of us moving out here, it wouldn't have made one effing bit of difference if they weren't. And let me just be perfectly clear about this. We have an awesome family. It's one of the things I love about my wife is her family. Her family is awesome. Absolutely. They're great people. You know, usually when you have a group of people or family, there's always like that one like black sheep, somebody that's like, I don't know about that person, they're trouble. Awesome family. And they just took to me. They're like, oh yeah,
They all love tea,
and I love all of them. They're like, oh, you're the guy. Awesome, sweet, the guy's here, you know.
I get kind of jealous sometimes.
But
like, I'm here. You've been here for 20 years.
But
I just came in.
Even if they had not been supportive, you can love somebody and disagree with them, and that's a two-way street. I can love them and disagree with how they live, and they can love me and disagree with how I live. And in a few instances within our greater family circles, that does exist. But it doesn't effing matter. We're here. We're doing this. And that's one thing that my wife and I both share is, hey, even if I love you to the ends of the earth and I value your opinion, I don't value it more than my own. I will accept reproof and instruction. I will go look for outsider input if I love and trust the people who want to give it to me. But at the end of the day, my life is mine. My decisions are mine. And I'm going to do what I feel is best for me and my family, not let, and again, this doesn't exist here. But if it did, I would not let an outsider influence our internal decisions, no matter how close that outsider is, because we have to live with it. We have to deal with it. The consequences are ours, not somebody else's. And so we didn't have any issues with moving out here as far as our greater family circles are concerned. So
I would agree. There were a couple of times they were like, okay, what? Like, what's the plan? And we had a plan, but it wasn't like, it still wasn't ideal. They're like, okay, are you sure? Like, and it's like, yeah, we're going to make this work. It's going to work out. And okay, awesome.
We've gotten a lot done through sheer force of will.
Yes.
Which is something else that people miss. There are a lot of people that have a lot more subs than we do and have a lot more beautiful Instagram pages than we do that produce really wonderful content in the production quality, but it is full of bullshit about how peaceful and wonderful it is living on the land. And you know what? Maybe they're awesome at it, and it is for them. It's work. 6 days ye shall labor, and on the 7th is a Sabbath of rest unto you. People love to focus on those that honor the Sabbath, love to focus on the Sabbath, that day of rest, but they miss the 6 days ye shall labor. And from now on, the ground will no longer yield its fruits to you. You will earn the fruits of the land by your blood, sweat, and tears. You will toil under the sun for what you have. And it's toil. Now, we can find joy in the toil, and we just did yesterday. You'll see on Patreon. Took 3 trees down yesterday, and a brigade of brothers showed up and helped me deal with it. But it's work. It doesn't just happen. It's not easy peasy. And especially once you get into the rural areas, there's a lot of people in the urban areas that are used to throwing money at problems to solve the problem. Even if you have the disposable income here in the rural areas to do that, nobody wants your money. They're not gonna take your money to problem solve for you. They got their own problems. You can't hire your way out of a lot of the issues that you face out here. And so it is blood, sweat, and tears. It is sheer force of will. It is, we are doing this no matter what. And it takes that tenacity in a lot of instances in order to sustain and grow a homestead. This is farming. I think the only difference between farming and homesteading is that farming, you're producing a product for a commercial buyer. Homesteading, you're producing a product for yourself. And there's also the argument of scale, but that's probably muddies the waters for this comparison. But for us, I mean, we are a homestead that's working its way towards a farm to be able to produce excess fruit of the land, which is Deuteronomy 30. And if you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, you will have excess. You'll be blessed in the fruit of your hands and and in your seed, and so forth and so on. And so, yeah, it takes tenacity, and you don't want outside influence robbing you of that tenacity that you need by undermining your sense of purpose and doing things like coming out here and making stuff like this happen. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Did I say that in a way that made sense?
I think so.
Okay. Nobody cares. Everybody's looking at their phones.
Well,
right, Zav?
to read chat. Let's see. What does the Bible say or not say about dip? I'm eating clean, but I've not seen anything about tobacco.
Dr. Trevor, bless you. What does the Bible say or not say about dip? About the best, says the guy who's smoking cigars right now.
Yeah.
About the best comparison I can come up with is, Paul talks about in Corinthians treating his body severely and putting his body in check with his mind. And that your body is a temple. Using any substance as a crutch is bad news. The Father does not appreciate that. I'll just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. The fact that you're asking the question means you have the conviction. So go with the damn conviction. Quitting dip was the hardest thing I've ever quit. I quit cocaine like that. And then I had a 15-year on-off relationship with snuff, with dip. So I would stop if I was you, says the guy smoking the cigar. Well, that's hypocritical. Yeah, I'm a man.
From an outside perspective,
you get rid of a cigar in a month.
From an outside perspective, can I also say that when your priorities start getting out of place, you'll set down cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd sit down later.
It's like everything, like we were talking about this morning. It's a heart condition.
Agreed.
If you start elevating that above the word Yeshua and all that, then that's when you need to address it. And if he's being he or she, I'm not sure who made the comment, is being convicted on that, then definitely take that seriously.
Exactly. If you have a conviction, go with it, because those convictions come from the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit only tells us the word of Yah. So the denying of the Holy Spirit is like the only biblical unforgivable sin. So, hey, Zav, can you get me a scoop of ice from over there in the ice machine, please? I can't quit my wife. It's so addictive. Good for you, Howitzer Bob.
I think there's a leave and cleave. Like,
That's a good problem to
that's
have.
a good problem. Unless she's like toxic.
Right, unless she's toxic. Yeah.
Do you put down a cigar because you smoked them all?
Thank you.
I've never seen that happen.
We've never gotten to the end.
We're talking about the man who buys things in pallets.
Yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday. We're now at and have been since probably October of last year, been at the level of how much does a pallet of that cost? It's like, we should get some. Yeah, but how much is a pallet?
Just before Sukkot last year, that was when everything became palletized. Like it's a
Yeah, there were a lot of damn people here at Sukkot. Shalom, Brad Spriggs. So the Refuge Medical advertisement on Graham Allen's YouTube show. Awesome on you guys. Thank you, G. Tandy. Thank you. Barrett, how do you feel about Oklahoma bills that will allow cities in Oklahoma to establish new gun-free zones? Yeah, what cities? Tulsa and Oklahoma City.
Right.
They already have gun-free zones in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And you know what I do? Carry an effing gun wherever I feel like it. So, how's that for an answer?
Yeah,
That's
see what the people of Oklahoma think about your gun-free zone.
And there's a difference between bill and law. There is Oklahoma law that nullifies any federal infringement on the Second Amendment. Proposed bills that for liberal cities to further enforce gun-free zones, they might pass because they're local. They might not pass. But I would remind you, in the year 2000, and the year 2004, and the year 2008, and the year 2012, and the year 2016, and the year 2020, not one county voted blue.
The only state.
Not one county. 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020, not one county. So, propose whatever damn legislation you want, not one county. Mary Lapp, bless you.
I'd like to also add state law versus city ordinance.
Yeah.
It's going to turn into a legal battle that most DAs don't want to put on their plate. And it very much comes down to the advice you were giving earlier of don't be where there's a problem.
Don't be where it is.
Yeah, you're going to have an issue carrying a pistol in Oklahoma City if you're holding up a convenience store or something. If you're committing some other criminal act, yeah, they have a reason to throw the book at you. If you're law-abiding, then they're not going to be targeting you.
I was, for reasons that don't need to be stated, I was in a police station yesterday with a pistol on my hip in Oklahoma. Known.
Yeah, it was very obvious.
It was known. Well, you're not supposed to carry in there. Yeah, but you're also, when you have the blessing of the officers, it doesn't matter.
You know why? Because he knew you weren't a threat.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's what Phelps saying. Like, you're committing a felony while having a gun on your hip is totally different than walking around as a law-abiding citizen with a gun on your hip. Yeah, totally different.
Thank you, Archangel.
Also, Jay Morris, I'll keep you in my prayers.
Copy on Jay Morris. Is this meth chat rehab W2F? Yeah, we're all on meth still, though. You caught
How
us.
did you read that before I tweeted it? Like, I was this close.
I used to be. That was
Yeah, you want to talk meth?
Right.
We'll have a chat about that.
Janet, shut. Bless you. All right, what else we got?
somebody asked, Bear, did you end up getting another Timex expedition after you destroyed the last one?
Yes. Look how small it looks on my wrist. It looks like a kid's watch.
Uh-huh.
I just note, like,
Your other one was bigger. You used to have a big one, though. Didn't you?
Guys, I'm rough on shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, if it lasts a year with me, it's good. It's good to go.
Definitely.
I'll give y'all an update on
You
my
break
watch
stuff.
in a year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You use it, you break it.
Yeah, for sure.
If you just let it sit there and do nothing with it,
I will,
it'll
however,
be nice
say
and clean.
this watch has been through numerous physical altercations with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily homestead or militant farmer lifestyle, but
Bless y'all.
yeah.
And let's see.
Wife won't move to Ozarks because of family here in Georgia. Jeff, with all due respect,
I have family everywhere.
too bad.
Yeah.
You either lead your household or you don't.
And
So-
that that's kind of where it comes down to priorities and responsibilities. Like, you're not responsible for the welfare of your family and
Your extended family.
your extended family. Right. Yes, extended family. And if you are, you take them with you, or you kind of give them that ultimatum of like, we're leaving if you wanna. No.
AVT. Yeah, we were on a brother's porch in Nashville, and there was a guy one property over, a couple 100 yards away, running a chainsaw, and he goes, "Hey, you're the chainsaw guy. What kind of saw is that?" And I was like, "It sounds like a Husqvarna 400 series, maybe like a 460." And he goes, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, they're a little throaty like that. They got a low rumble. They're more like a diesel engine than like a steel." So the neighbor, the people we were at, they texted the neighbor, "No shit, Husky 400 series," and he's like, "Wow." Like, he's like,
have you ever seen those shows where they have like just sounds
Right.
and people have to like try and guess like
drives by and
what sound that is?
You can name like trucks based on the
Yeah.
blowing the horn.
Well, that's like the neighbor who always runs the chainsaw, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill the guy with the chainsaw."
well, that's the other thing too. Like, not all right, little horn tooting, toot toot. Not only can I usually tell what kind of saw it is, I can tell how sharp the chain is, and when the last time it was serviced just by hearing it, because I'm
The grind noise of it.
yeah. Well, and yeah.
That noise.
Yeah, is he
He
like
doesn't hear the beat.
is he like
or
it's like
So another thing that I learned from doing EMDR, doing that therapy, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, I think DOC is what the hell it stands for. But EMDRs, they have these two little things that you hold in your hands that kind of buzz back and forth, and the doc that I was seeing, he's like, you're going to get one pulse on each side. I call them the bean pods, right? And there's a light bar, and the light goes back and forth. When the light's on this side pulses. And when the light's on this side pulses. And he goes, you're going to get two pulses and yada, yada, yada. And so when we're setting this up, bless you, JT. Thank you.
Inhalation.
When we're setting this up, he goes, yeah, they're two pulses. They're the same pulse. I was like, they're not the same pulse. He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, this one on the right is a higher frequency than the one on the left. And he's like, no, it should be one impulse. I'm like, it's not. This is like 512 hertz, and this is like 400. It's like wah 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 wah. And he's like, how do you know this? I was like, I don't know, but I know it's not one pulse. It's a vibration, and they vibrate at two slightly different frequencies. And my brain is a calculator, and I don't understand how I know this. I just know this.
Just believe me, we all agree you do.
And so I handed him back to the guy, and he was like, I've never noticed that before. I was like, that's because you don't know. But I know they're not the same.
Freaky type A's.
Yeah.
We do some strange shit.
Also, side note, I've had the Black Ops cigars, and they are delicious.
Yeah, Black Ops cigars are GTG, man. Crap, now I got to check my tappers. Is that what they're called? I'm telling you, the gray one and the black one are not the same frequency. The black one, and see, why do I even remember this? The gray one goes on the left-hand side because it's light left. The lighter one on the left-hand side, the black one on the right-hand side. And so the gray one has a lower frequency than the black one. Black one's a higher frequency. So.
Somebody said you just like freaking people out, don't you?
It's true.
And yes, he does.
Yes, he
like
does.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
he loves like
When you're like, what's
Totally
that verse in
joking,
the
but,
Bible
like,
talking about
playing,
X, and you're like freaky brain.
total bear, and like you don't know like if you like are like, oh no, you're joking. If he's gonna like punch you in the face. He does that all the time to people.
Good story.
And these are legit
All the
observations. This is not like when you take the hearing test and you're like, Is that a beep or is that just my tinnitus? I can't.
Right.
This is like a legitimate observation.
Ferris Rain Man, thank you so much. That's great.
He really is kind of.
Yeah, I call him Bricky Brain.
Yeah,
That's what I call
he
him.
is Freaky Brain.
Bear Nye the Chainsaw Guy.
John Deere.
Would you ever go back on Angry Prepper? Of course. Why wouldn't I? Angry Prepper's a good dude.
Runs in detail.
Well, and you do videos
I just used the right
on
spot,
his.
Yeah.
No,
you're
that's
thinking
different.
of Angry American.
All these angry.
By the
Prepper
way,
people.
tell them about Angry American for
Oh my
those that
gosh.
don't know.
Yeah.
So this morning I got on Facebook and like immediately saw that Angry Americans, like outdoor office shop, had completely caught fire and burnt down. I think he's laughing. He's
Yeah.
crying.
Phelps lost it.
The bear die.
Bear and I just.
Somebody
it's funny
broke
though.
Phelps.
But
Some comment he read about bear
like,
die.
he lost everything.
talk about
He lost.
We're talking about.
I can't talk about this while
Angry
you guys are
American.
Sorry.
laughing.
Angry American lost everything, people.
But he did. He lost like several firearms, tons of ammo, a freeze dryer, which like hit me, and all of his computer and camera.
Damage to
and
his truck, all of his
damage to his
books,
truck,
hundreds of thousands of
side by
rounds of ammo, his
Yeah.
firearms, $10,000 worth of commo gear, all his
Lost
whole library. Yeah.
everything, all his
Yeah, he
books.
lost it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt East Tennessee.
Yeah.
So keep that brother covered in prayer. And when an opportunity presents itself to help, we're going to help. So, yeah.
Jan Blackwater got his Patreon hoodie.
Nice. It's a good.
Nice.
Nice.
I love that hoodie. I gotta actually get myself another one because
Need to be next.
We need to get one.
You're
I
on
don't have one
Patreon.
yet.
You only pay $1, you don't get one.
No, I thought I paid $5.
What'd you say?
Ooh, got a skull crusher ready to snip when I get home. Fire and tornadoes are my biggest fear. Fear not. Have I not commanded you be strong and courageous, only guard to do the commands, the laws, and the right rulings of this Torah. Only be strong and very courageous. Fear not. Do I hear spring peepers? Yes, you do. I'm drinking some Tulsa-made bourbon and Tulsa rolled cigar. Very nice.
Nice house.
Jeremiah Noble said, I'm a still guy, but my 661 broke and I'm using a Husky 576 XP. This thing rocks, actually.
Yeah, those are good saws. Those are good saws. There's a clear line between homeowners / occasional use saws and professional saws, both with steel and Husqvarna. But gosh, I got a 660 Magnum. It's actually a steel 066 Magnum that's been tuned and ported, and it's got an 8.2 sprocket on it. That friggin' saw, I'm not exaggerating. I'm pretty sure I could cut this house in half with it. Like it's an animal, and it's just completely different than, you know, the homeowner saws. Same thing with Husqvarna. That 576 is a hell of a saw. Hobie at Overall Living has a 372 XP. It's a hell of a saw. It's an awesome saw, but it'll never be a steel.
Yeah. On the other side of that spectrum, Joey Jones was saying he's gonna get a Silky Katana Boy 500 for when the fuel runs out. And I have Silky in my, as a bushcrafter, I have a Silky, and I love them for small branch work, stuff like that. You know, if you're out there, you're not carrying a chainsaw around when you're out in the bush. My biggest piece of advice would be get 2 blades.
Yep.
You get a green wood blade and you get a dry wood blade.
And keep them clean.
Yes.
A little bit of WD-40 goes
Yeah,
a
keep
long
'em
way on
clean.
those things.
Keep them clean and oiled. Make sure you sharpen them. They do still have to be sharpened.
Liberty says the best chainsaw for a woman. Well, my wife has Little Steel 171. You
And
love
I
it.
love it.
She loves it.
I haven't ran it in a while.
I know.
I should do that.
You announce a winner again?
What was the winner's name?
No, I'm not going to announce it again.
Oh.
Not gonna do it.
Replay.
YouTube has this
They're gonna go
fancy
back to the
function
beginning.
where you can.
Go back, watch it again.
Somebody asked about the ratio to lime to corn, which the nixtamalization video is on whose channel that we always use?
It's Adam at the Arkansas Preparedness
Arkansas
Network.
Preparedness Network. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. It was Arkansas something.
It's about 10 to 1. It's about 10 to 1. 10 parts corn, 1 part lime. Truth Faction, bless you.
Howitzer Bob is talking smack against both Still and Husqvarna.
Howitzer Bob is?
Yeah, John Sereds.
John Sered, yeah. John Sereds are good saws. They ain't no damn steel, though. Michael the Priest won.
The priest. That was the last
And that's
one.
the last thing I'm going to say about it. Michael the Priest won. He has until Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Central Time.
Hermit Hill Voice.
Mountain Daylight Savings.
Mama.
Gretchen.
Ocean
Ask.
Greenwich.
We save volunteer garden plants. That her y'all planted things always seem to do better than what I planted myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we have volunteer stuff come up every year, and it does. And the seeds adapt
Boba Fett, we were
To-
literally just talking about that.
their growing conditions. So year after year, if you're seed saving and replanting those, you're gonna see better and better yields because it's more used to your growing conditions than something that you buy at the store. You know, some
So
seed.
letting your volunteers go to seed
Yeah,
is a better idea than
Yep.
letting your newly planted stuff go to seed.
absolutely.
Hold on, I got to yell at Ashley Spears for a minute.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Right?
Best tools for women are DeWalt battery operated stuff, light and easy 12-inch chainsaw and others. Maybe if you have grid tied electricity. If you don't have grid tied electricity, I would disagree completely.
Yeah.
Because that little 171 with a 16-inch bar is handy as hell. It's lightweight. It's far more powerful than the battery saws are. At least the battery saws that I've used. It's relatively quiet and you don't have to plug it in, and it makes its own dancing pixies. It's not dependent upon the grid's dancing pixies to run. So, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Snapping Turtle, bless you.
Because mine isn't because generally it's because of weight. Like it's a heavy tool, and so women's tools tend to be lighter. And I would just my steel is perfect for me. Like I can run it continuous for hours,
And it weighs like as much as a gallon of
7
milk,
pounds,
maybe
yeah, 8
less. Yeah,
pounds.
it's super lightweight.
and
Super lightweight.
I love it.
Yep. For sure. I love it too.
And it's easy to maintain. Like I know how to do it. He showed me.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it also depends on the volume of cutting that you're doing.
Yeah,
If you're doing a lot of cutting, forget the battery saw.
Yeah.
Because I can just put some more fuel in a gas saw and I'm good to go. And we have a lot of trees. We do a lot of cutting. I took 3 trees down yesterday, big pines yesterday, and did a lot of cutting. I ran through 3 tanks of fuel in my 362 steel, just bucking and limbing. So, and I probably could have dropped the largest of those trees if I took bites from both sides. With a 12-inch battery operated saw, but beyond that, what are you guys doing? You doing a thing? Oh shit! Good job, Zave.
That was
My phone's closed now.
That's good.
7x9.
Was it a gummy?
I don't know, bug spray or something?
I haven't sprayed bug spray in an hour, bro.
No, it wasn't that. That's what I just asked.
Just a little.
It's like 7x9.
Would I ever go to the moon? Why the actual F would I want to go to the moon? No. You got no interest. Oh, you wanted
someone asked for dimensions on the slim kit?
dimensions on the slim kit.
I say 7x9.
How's that for an answer?
I gotta take measurement inside. I can get an accurate measurement. I say 7x9.
7x9.
Do you want to lay them sideways?
Put it over your
Thin
face
it is.
and see how
Thin
thin
it is.
Like so.
Right the size of my hand. Skin tape the size of my face.
So this, for those that don't know, because I know people are going to ask, this is the slim kit. It's designed to go behind a plate like this on your plate carrier. Here you go, folks.
in the back of your seat pocket.
Or the back seat pocket, or your backpack, or your rucksack, or whatever. You can use promo code SLIM10 this month for 10% off of this kit. Go ahead with you one. No, hold on. I'll hold you measure. 8 and yeah, just about
8 3/4.
I'd say 8 5/8, woman. Learn to read a tape.
At the widest point up here.
Oh geez, whatever.
That's technically 9. I would like to say. That's 9 inches.
Technically 9. Less. How about we go less than 9 inches by. Oh geez.
There, though.
Oh
8
man.
inches.
7 3/4 inches wide.
So
8 by 9. 8 inches by 9 inches.
And how deep? How thick is it?
At its thickest, it's 3/4 of an inch right there. Gosh dang, what an eyeball. 3/4 of an inch thick. So this has all the things in it. Z-fold combat gauze, quick clot, 4-inch fold flat emergency trauma dressing, twin pack of compact chest seals, 1 airway, a decompression needle for tension pneumothorax, as seen right here, a survival blanket, compressed gauze for wound packing, flat duct tape, 2 5x9 abdominal pads, and 2 BZK wipes. And this is designed, again, to go in between your plate and your trauma pad and your plate carrier. And it's vacuum sealed against dirt, debris, dust, whatever. SEAL teams started doing this back in the day, and then it was picked up by some SWAT departments. And then we had enough people who were contacting us, civilians, saying, yo, we want one of these. So we made it. It's the slim kit. See that right there? It's the slim kit. And I highly recommended that in addition to this, you need to add a tourniquet and shears, but the tourniquet and shears should already be outside on your gear.
Easily deployed.
And so this is called the stud. It's just the shears tourniquet utility device, because acronyms are cool. So it's got a Gen 7 cat tourniquet in it, a set of shears, and then this can molly onto your belt, your plate carrier, your chest rig, your rucksack, your backpack, whatever. But you don't want to be fighting your way to your tourniquet. Tourniquet should be readily available with both hands. You should be able to reach it with both hands, get to it wherever it is on your kit. So the tourniquet is outside of this, outside of the slim kit. So definitely add a tourniquet to the slim kit, because it does not come with one. Okay. But
also our crash vac is vacuum sealed like that too.
The crash vac, yeah. The Bear Vac crash vac is vacuum sealed like this as well. So for like maritime operations on your boat, or for Baja Desert or whatever, you can get the Bear Vac has the crash Bear Vac has all of the contents vacuum sealed as well. So what? Oh, we'll talk to him. He don't know what's up. Bought stacked pickup cab high load of Black Locust, $200. Very nice.
Hmm.
2 trees with my Makita 36 volt actually didn't suck.
Mind you, also that thickness, if you have ceramic plates, it's basically the same.
Yeah. So
The plates you were showing were AR-550, I believe.
right, but you bring up a good point with ceramic plates. There's a caveat at the website that it's up to you to use the measurements provided to make sure that it will fit in your plate carrier with your plates. Because with certain carriers with certain plates, it won't fit. Like some carriers are such a tight fit when you get to the level 4 plates that the plates themselves barely get in there, let alone the trauma pads. So you want to make sure that you have some room in the carrier with your plates in order for the slim fact to fit.
And the way I would recommend doing that is if you have a plate carrier that has ceramic plates and it seems and trauma pads and it seems like it might be tight, take your front plate, assuming you're going to put it on the back side.
Double your plates up.
Yeah, double them up.
Yep.
And you will know that you have room to play with then, because the thickest part of that kit is like a ceramic level 4 plate.
I bought a Chinese bullcrap one for my battle belt months, maybe a year ago. Paid like $180 for it. Junk. Yep. My Bearfack has no shears. Easy peasy. Just email Bear Independent, admin at Bear Independent. We got you taken care of. That was an oversight. It happens.
We're all human.
Does the slim kit and the stud have the same stuff as your Bearfack, or more like a bare minimum? It has a slightly different list. So first of all, it comes with Z-fold combat gauze. And so with your tourniquet on the outside, you can handle arterial bleeds to the extremities. And it comes with Z-fold combat gauze and compressed gauze for wound packing. If you want combat gauze, it's got it in it for sure. And a lot of people add combat gauze to the Bearfack or the bare minimum because they feel like they need it, they want it. And I'm not going to argue with that over that. We make that available to you if you want it. Studies have shown that compressed gauze and combat gauze achieve essentially the same thing in the same amount of time with the same techniques. So if you're wound packing with combat gauze, you're good to go. If you're wound packing with compressed gauze, you're good to go. But if you want combat gauze, far be it for me to say no, you can't have it. That's your personal preference. That's available as an addition to the Bearfack and the bare minimum. So the slim kit has both combat gauze and compressed gauze for wound packing. It has a 4-inch fold flat emergency trauma dressing. It has the space blanket for hypothermia to keep the casualty warm. It's got 5x9s. It's got an airway for airway management. It's got the hyphen compact chest seals for sucking chest wounds, decompression needle for tension pneumothorax, and BZK wipes because for disinfecting if you're going to do an invasive procedure like aspirating and tension pneumothorax. So it's more like a Cub kit, Cub Pro kit with the decompression needle, because
and the Z-fold.
And the Z-fold. Not all of our kits have decompression needles in them. The bare minimum, the Bearfack, the slim kit, and the stomp bag, and the adventure kit have decompression needles in them. And the combat lifesaver have decompression needles in them. And the Mac.
The Cubs are the only ones that don't.
The Cubs pretty much.
The Cubs are the only ones that don't.
The Cubs are the only ones that don't.
There you go. You're gonna make me want to scratch my beard.
Let's take a long way around this mountain.
All those American states that don't end in the letter A.
Now there's others coming that won't have.
There's more in the brain
that won't have decompression needles. But for now, it's just the Cubs.
That's so many kids. It's like you can put it on the placemat at a restaurant. The word scramble. Be enough answers.
That's a good idea. Cigar tonight is an M by Macanudo.
Somebody said, "Don't make him angry."
Coffee flavored. Q&A time. Got male and female goats, sheep. Keep together or separate? That depends on how many babies you want.
What are you trying
And if you want an abomination geep running around.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So there's such things as geeps because goats and sheep can intermate.
but should not.
Yeah, they can. But all of our like males and females all hang out together all the time. This year is the first year that I've seen where it might be a little bit more of an issue than it has been because we have a lot of males. It's not just normally there's just like one extra and just for a small time being until we eat him. And this year we've got a lot of males. So
Sonia brings up a good point about male goats and milk. But goats are a pain in the ass and an abomination as far as I'm concerned. So we don't have that problem.
You have one goat. I can't believe that he's still out there.
That one goat has deserved death over and over
That's
again.
what I'm saying. I can't believe she is still out there.
Goats and sheep can make, yes.
She's much better.
Yeah, they can. And they make geeps. You can Google it. And
there are no male goats on the property.
Sojourn gear.
How do they make the milk stink? Because they stink.
Everything about them stinks. They smell so bad that it actually taints the milk.
Even if the milk's not coming from them, it's that bad.
Bourbon flavored goat would be good. I'll tell you this. I think everything that goats can do, sheep can do better.
Yeah.
That's been my...
Yeah, like male sheep don't pee on themselves like male goats do. Like male goats literally tuck their head around between their legs and their penis like sticks out like this long and it looks ridiculous. And then they like pee all over their face and they're disgusting animals. Disgusting. They really are.
Goats are terrible people.
They're horrible. Sheep at least don't do that.
Goats are terrible people.
The males get a little stinky every once in a while, but
they're super really nice except when they're hungry.
Yeah, but I can't. I have figured out I am not a goat person at all. I don't like.
They're not actively trying to escape to reach food.
No, he had a sheep jump the fence when he told him to go back and it jumped back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay.
Entirely different game than goats.
Yeah.
And some people are total goat people, and I don't knock them. I'm not.
I don't have the time or energy for
really
goats.
Cute as babies. Like that little
different strokes for different folks.
That's and for real, I think that's the only place where goats excel when it comes to goats versus sheep. Is that goat babies are cuter than little lambs.
Yeah.
However, they only stay that way for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it don't matter. And then after that, when you really have to actually do the things, the sheep are so much easier than the goats. Is Texas too hot for sheep? No, get Katahdins.
Yeah, so Katahdins, they're hair sheep, and they get winter coats and summer coats. They do need like shade areas, but they tolerate the heat and the cold both very well. So
Mama Bear just talked me out of getting goats saying they pee in their face.
It's gross.
It's real.
Man.
They do it.
Really nasty.
Good night, Red River Rebel.
Their penis reaches around.
Yeah, like their penis like hooks around. And
their description.
So glad men don't
Next.
do that.
Hey, A1P just joined us. Woohoo!
What's up, A1P?
Oki and A1P were like, we
At
jumped
the
in
same
at the
time.
wrong
We jumped in.
Like, huh?
Penis in the face.
Self-wicking tubs. No, I do not.
Huh?
What is this?
I don't know what it's self.
Think Katahdin sheep will work in East Central Kansas. Yes, I do. Side note, that's a slick shirt, Bear. I dig it. Thanks. It's Columbia Pro Fishing Gear, POG shirt. By the way.
Okay, freaky brain. How do you know that?
It has a label on it.
By the way, for everybody who's ever wondered on these shirts, what is this? Why is there a little Velcro tab right here? Now I'm really going to blow your mind. You know what this is for? Because this is a pro fishing gear shirt, although I wear them for everything from homesteading to business. What this is for is you put your reel in your pocket, and then the tip of the rod goes up through here, and you Velcro it like so. So now you have two hands free. You're not holding your reel when you're crossing a body of water or you have to do anything else. Boom, handled. Put the reel in the pocket, tip of the rod comes up through here, good to go.
So I totally would have swore that was for a radio handset cable.
Negative.
Well,
Could
but,
be.
I mean, the whole
but
idea
that's
of
not what
pro
it's for.
fishing gear shirt. It's pretty specific.
Mind blown, right? And that's why it says
Does that
PFG
every
right
day,
here.
though.
That's why it
Every
says PFG is pro fishing gear. So
Yeah, those are nice shirts on the lake.
yeah. Would Zebu be okay in Ohio? I don't know. They're very
Yeah.
thin skinned.
They are like when we got down to the -10s, -15s. Like that's why we built them a shelter, is because I wasn't really sure how cold hardy they were, but in researching, they are not very cold hardy at all. Basically, freezing temps is about the lowest that they really like to go. Extended periods of time below that, and they can have a lot of problems. So not cold hardy at all. And I would think Ohio is cold.
I think it's going to get colder too. As the grand solar
trends are, yeah.
moves along.
I think we get super hot summers and super cold winters.
How many Zebulon to the acre? Oh, 4-ish. I'm getting giraffes. I heard they're tasty. Good for you, Brad. You should see a great return on investment for that. Get as many giraffes as you can. I'm saying like everything. Go in debt, sell the house.
Didn't you say they're clean though? Like we
They're-
could technically eat
They're
giraffes.
technically clean,
Yeah. But so are.
but I'm just
so are
saying,
things.
like, Kurt bought 10 giraffes. Excellent.
Which of our farm animals are
Goats.
most like Biden?
Male goats.
The neighbor's goats.
I would say roosters, but I don't want the FBI to show up at my house.
No. The neighbor's guineas.
Yeah, there you go.
Just loud and obnoxious.
By the way,
Awkward
Tavar,
cat.
My Sam is nothing like Biden. Like he may like
No.
to sniff me,
Somebody
but
wants to know if you've ever head bumped potato.
by the way, Tavar,
I've slapped
the
him.
weight issue with the retention with the plates with the slim kit, I don't think is an issue. The weight of the slim kit is similar to a trauma pad.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
not
lightweight.
like adding a plate to your carrier. So as far as like your plate retention should absolutely, I've not seen a carrier that would not have sufficient retention to hold that in addition to everything else.
This is no more than a half a pound.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
very, very
I'd
lightweight.
say less than a half a pound. I mean, it's similar to a trauma pad weight wise.
Oh yeah, I have my kitchen scale here. I'll
That
go-
that
pee in it.
included into a box.
We'll weigh it.
The only issue I see is if someone has a plate carrier that is manufactured in a way that is only designed to hold a plate. If it's manufactured in a way to hold a ceramic plate and a trauma pad, and you happen to have steel plates, then you can definitely slide a slim kit between that steel plate and a trauma pad. If you're running ceramic plates, then you may want to see like, are your ceramic plates and trauma pad, you have space in there, in which case it could possibly fit.
Bear, where's that big dog you had? Well, I still have him. It's dark, so he's murdering coyotes. PJD, shalom. What's the frequency, Bear? What are you talking about, AK?
It's 11 ounces.
11 ounces, 3/4 of a pound, just shy.
11 ounces dispersed over 10 by 10.
First Chevalier, the goal is to slip into the plate pass and save the space on the molly. Yeah, some people run a super slick system and want their medical gear somewhere else other than a pouch on their molly, which is fine. Or they've got so much else on their molly that they don't have room for something like this hanging on there. So it won't work with poly plates. Probably not, just because of the thickness. Bear, how can I donate a year Baby Bear sub to someone needing it?
Whoa.
So just go to Patreon and start a new account and then give them the login information. Shalom, Slade.
It is so nice out tonight.
It is
Like,
absolutely
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yep.
Except the bugs are out.
Yeah, the bugs are out.
They're
Gonna
supposed to
get the
die.
screens up.
They're supposed to kill them all. That snow.
Dom Nudo, very cool.
Yeah,
Love.
They hit underwater.
And the vaccine's supposed to be with the COVID.
Oh my gosh, I'm tired.
Vaccinated with bugs.
Show us your best dance moves. That's going to fall under the kiss my hairy white ass category.
Is that me?
There is not a Patreon level
I
high
have to
enough
go
for
over there
that.
to
There is
dance.
not.
Yeah. If I go over there, I could dance.
Bear, are you still running a conduit plate carrier or have you found a better system?
Patreon 2000.
Better is relative. And yeah, I'm still running the same Condor Mop C that I've had for 5+ years now. And it's great. It's great. It does everything I want it to do. It fits me. It holds the plates well. Did you ever hear from Bear Creek on the rifle? No, I didn't.
Yeah, more drink.
It's another company that can kiss my hairy white ass. And you can pull that for Instagram and tag them in it. Bad customer service, a horribly shooting rifle
Everybody's
that's
talking about you.
expensive.
Nobody's just.
He didn't even dance at her wedding. Well, that requires the ability to dance. It's like saying Sam didn't fly to the moon. He doesn't have rocket boosters and a helmet and an O2 system. He's not capable of it. So,
Somebody has 4-inch or 6-inch compression bandage for IVAC. Depends on
it
which IVAC.
depends. It depends. This is the bare minimum. There's your combat gauze up there. Pull this out, pop it open. 6-inch pressure dressing right there. Okay. So it depends on, gosh, I don't really want to dive into this freaking rabbit hole, but I guess I will. What are you doing if you're in a high threat environment? A 6-inch is probably better than 4-inch, but the 4 inches honestly work fine. You have more An emergency trauma dressing just looks like a big ace bandage with a gauze pad on it. And so you have more of the ace bandage material on the 6-inch to provide more compression. So if you're in a high threat environment, I'd say probably a 6-inch. If you're in, but officers run 4-inch all the time. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. I need some water.
My wife keeps saying for you.
I see that.
Someone says, will you dance for a huge donation? Yeah, 100% of what we need.
You drop the other 100,000 that I need for Caleb House to get the land. I'll dance for a friggin' hour.
That's a long time.
1 hour. Shit, I should start dancing at the cockpit again. Let's get that other 100,000. Second stage at the meat locker. Get my fireman helmet out and my red banana hammock. Go back to work. Pay for Caleb House with 1s and 5s. Sorry, y'all. It's dirty money, but we needed it to get the job done. Thank you, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Phelps would join you.
Huh?
That would be weird.
Get JA to
I'm
dance.
dancing.
Now on center stage,
Yeah.
Bear and Phelps.
Hey,
Ish.
I can't dance any better than you can, but for
I'm saying,
I can watch.
somebody's putting $5 bills in my G-string. I'll make some shit up.
Why is there a G-string involved? We were just fully clothed. We were not asking.
Red banana hammock, fireman
Red.
helmet. It's got to match the fireman helmet.
Yeah, the safety vest.
And an axe.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like the axe is
Come on, baby.
a potential hazard
Get split.
to the banana hammock.
Get split.
I really feel like
with the banana hammock.
Yankee said he joined.
Oh my
No.
gosh. This is going to be
Gonna be a dance party.
the worst calendar ever. Hebrew of the month, Yankee, March. In front of a cannon.
Richard.
Just like draped over a cannon.
You guys can dance to the Spice Girls.
Oh,
Somebody said no G-string. I'll let my monthly if you don't do that.
Chad, you're welcome, bro.
Fireworks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Not I, but the Spice Girls just got here. So rattle off a bear weekend. Sarah, I would be, first of all, there's a Torah for that. Second of all,
Oh, when-
I would no, because what if, like,
no,
who wins? You know what I mean?
y'all pay.
We could have a starting price.
Right.
The starting price.
Y'all pay for he and Hami to
I'm
go away
not
for the
auctioning
weekend.
off my man.
No, that's what I'm saying. Y'all pay. People pay. Then y'all go away for the
Oh
weekend.
yes, I'm down with that.
I'd be happy if you modeled that fishing shirt again. Here it be. Ulfenar tribesman. Bless you, brother.
What's up with him?
He's been busy. We've been busy. It's like apocalypse
I know,
out
but
there.
I miss our people.
I know. I love Ulfenar tribesman. He's the bomb. But
You know it, Jay Moore.
The fact that anybody who can say Ulfenar,
The
gotta
North
know.
Tribesman.
you can't even say
I can't. I can't.
You got the Ulfenar part out.
Wolf is North.
it's close-ish.
I'm not auctioning off my man.
Can we talk about chainsaws again? All right, Michael. So now we're talking chaps, logging helmet,
With the chainsaw.
Safety vest.
orange G-string, and chainsaw.
Hey, there was an orange. We talked about an orange G-string this week.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, we did.
Like, wait, did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember that
I
conversation.
don't want to know about the orange G-string conversation.
Yeah, that's fine.
The fifth
No,
horseman.
you actually do want to know. Our
Yes,
slim-
Hami got the freezer
Yes,
jam.
I did get the freezer jam.
Our slim pack's gonna be
Thank you.
Permanent.
permanent
Thank you
in the
so
store.
much.
Yes, they are.
I gotta bust into it when he's not gonna be near me though.
Their pose of the month calendar. Every month is going to be a different knife hand.
That's a new grindstone project, right?
Just what we need. More
Different-
projects.
Different chainsaw.
Yeah, that's what I need. One more thing on my list.
Eye protection. You need all the eye protection.
Wow.
TJ, your opening line is back up while I fire this thing up.
Oh, Jeremy.
Broke Renee again.
Oh, man.
That's so bad.
Can you tell us something about your dad? No, I'm not ready to do that yet. But I will when
But
I
if
am.
it's wet and it's not yours, don't touch it.
Bless you, NWA Prepper. Thank you.
No. We're gonna start a bear. Don't do it again.
Hey, can I be the April calendar for like April Fools?
Tommy Salter, bless you, bro. Bugs.
It's an interesting place we went tonight, isn't it?
Why did I just think of Hero Soap on a rope?
I couldn't believe how many people were like, with the Hero Soap. There weren't even nipples in the Hero Soap video.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's
it was
just a lot of hair.
There's a lot of
from
chest
here
hair.
up.
You're a bear.
Did you ever bring home my present?
I like the hair.
Good,
Oh, it's-
because you're stuck with.
Nose today. Like it was growing out of the tip
Badger.
of
Oh,
his
weird.
nose.
Badger.
It was weird.
No.
Plus you, Chad. It was good to meet you, bro.
Paladin, I think there's a Torah for that.
Yeah.
I did like Bear's chainsaw review. Any progress on the drives beyond Genesis? No, frankly, no, not yet. Not yet. I don't. So the drives are logistically a pain in the ass, and you want them, and a couple other people want them, but there's not a high demand for them, and logistically, it is a major pain in the ass, and so. Unfortunately, because of the low demand and the high pain in the ass quotient, they're low on the to-do list. But be patient, and in 2027, you'll get Exodus. So,
But I mean, it's out there.
Yeah, they're
it's
out there.
on
It's just not
it's
on
on
the drive.
YouTube, right?
You could make your own drive.
You could. That is possible.
Bear calendar for upper level.
I think we need to not do the bear calendar.
We could make it really good though.
Hey, do you know how many cookbooks are on my list right now that
I
y'all
know.
came up with? Only 3.
Chad does have awesome hair. It's very awesome.
He does have awesome hair.
Very
I would,
awesome
I would
hair.
agree.
Yeah. Good night, Gary Lee.
It's like this, like
Appreciate you.
Indian, like super black,
Super black, super straight.
Straight.
Yeah.
beautiful, silky hair.
Yes, I see every Ice Age farmer video.
We're not going to register.
Well, first of all, we're not in the United Kingdom. Second of all, if they'd like to come here and attempt to register my animals, no. This is the thing,
You
man.
have to get past the gate.
So it amazes me what an effing cuck society we have. You have to let us do this. Okay, I think it's wrong, but okay. How about no? No, I don't have to let you do this, and I'm not going to. Well, we're from the government. You have to let us. No, you have to kiss my hairy effing white ass and stay on that side of the gate, and if you don't, you will be considered a trespasser. And I can do all types of terrible things to trespassers in the state of Oklahoma. So no, we're not doing that. Well, but if you don't, then we'll sanction you. All right, sanction me. Go for it. That's cool. Step 1 foot over that line and find out what happens. I'm amazed. I'm amazed by the lack of sack that humanity has at this point. It's incredible. People that won't stand up for what they believe in deserve everything they get. They deserve every single thing that they get. And air quote patriots that talk a big game but won't do shit other than hang out on the internet and type comments to one another in the chat deserve everything they get as well. You made your bed, now lie in it. I'm on the other end of the spectrum.
Glock 316 said, loved seeing your son running the heavy equipment. Your father handed his skills down, and that will keep his legacy alive. Freaking awesome. Bless you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that my dad had passed when I posted that picture.
Make me cry a lot that day.
Yep.
It did.
Yeah.
Bear, thoughts on a Mossberg Patriot in 308? Hard to turn down a solid hunting rifle that included Vortex scope for $399. Well, David, if I was allowed to handle firearms on a live stream per YouTube, I'd show you my Mossberg Patriot 308 that I've detailed on YouTube or on Patreon, because YouTube doesn't like us doing firearms content, which I don't understand. I get it, macro, big picture. We'll come back to the Mossberg momentarily, but there's lots of gun tubers. There's lots of gun channels. But I post gun, and here's the difference. They're like, I'm a shooting enthusiast. I'm a hobbyist. I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. And they're like, okay, cool. Demonetized, but your video can stay up here on YouTube. I post gun content, and I get my effing pee-pee schwacked, and my channel goes bye-bye occasionally, and they make my life a living hell. And it's because while I am a shooting enthusiast, I understand that the Second Amendment is to maintain a comfortable distance from tyranny, and we talk about that. So that makes me dangerous to the system.
You speak true.
Appreciate that. So coming back to the Mossberg Patriot in 308, I've shot consistently 1-inch groups with it at 100, but it was really opening up out at 250. Pretty considerable. 5-inch, 6-inch groups out at 250. And then I took the standard stock that comes with it. It comes with a pretty chintzy, flimsy plastic stock. And I took that off and I put a Boyd's gun stock on, and took those 250-yard groups down to 2.5 inches. All this is documented on Patreon. The Vortex scope is good. There are many better optics. I think for $250, you'd be better off with the Primary Arms 4-14, which is what I have on mine. And it does a hell of a job. It's a really good optic for the money. Really high value optic for $250. It's like good glass, like really good glass starts at $1,500. So to have a good, highly effective reticle and relatively clear glass that's well made for $250, good to go. And so with that glass and that stock, I'm consistently shooting sub MOA with that rifle at distance. So I like the Mossberg Patriot 308, but the factory stock is garbage. And shooting with a bipod, what was happening was the flex of the stock, the action inside of the stock, the stock would flex and interact with the barreled action inconsistently. Every time, depending on how you loaded the bipod, you'd get a different interaction between the stock and the barrel, which is why you'd get a different shot placement, wide shot dispersion every time. So, but by swapping out the stock to a Boyd's, it got much better. So What about EDC? They'll be hunting. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Knowledge 85, I know this is on the previous topic, but Knowledge 85 might be onto something.
Sure.
Get a steel sponsorship and do Chainsaw of the Month calendar.
Mm.
Now we're talking Bear's language.
Sorry,
Yeah,
babe.
somebody said bear in an apron, and I mixed that. Yeah.
No. But a steel sponsorship
Totally
for
different.
Chainsaw of the Month.
Chaps.
Right.
Safety
Chaps.
vest.
That could be fun.
Mhm.
Warhammer asked
Good
a
idea,
question.
folks. Get on that.
Yep.
He has a trailer that can load to 5,000 pounds.
Uh-huh.
He has close to that in goodies stored there. I have the capacity to fill 4 55-gallon drums with water. Is it a bad idea to leave the cargo trailer loaded with that much weight?
No. Only thing you got to watch is your tire pressure over time. You could dry rot the tires, and changing tires, the full trailer is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But no, it's not a bad idea. If it's rated to that much weight, it's rated to that much weight.
Right. And the likelihood that you're going to have to like move it, you know, if it's just for storage.
Right. If you're moving it, it's probably.
Are you spinning the wool from your sheep? No, we are not, because they're hair sheep, not woolly sheep. They still have some wool on them,
Under, yeah.
but the second half of Exodus talks about the building of the tabernacle and how the weavers spun wool, and the fine weavers, the skilled weavers, spun threads from goat hairs. It's very difficult to make a thread from hair as compared to wool, and katahdins are hair sheep, not wool sheep. So praise Yah, we don't need a bunch of thread from sheep right now. So we don't do that shit. And it's not that there isn't merit in doing it, but I honestly believe the vast majority of people think that when they start a homestead, it's going to be a beautiful life. They're going to have so much free time, and I'm going to make cheese from the milk from my animals, and I'm going to make sweaters with the wool. And maybe you are. We don't. We don't have the time for it. There's too much else going on. And people would say, yeah, but in an SHTF scenario, you could have thread. I've got thread. You could make cloth. I have cloth. Clothing that's exactly right. Clothing is cheap. Your time is incredibly valuable. And so, no, we don't do that. And if you do or want to, that's awesome. But we don't have the time to do it.
If we get to the point where we're spinning wool like 20 years into,
We're bored.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you're 20 years into SHTF. Like you're not.
Yeah, by the time I'm spinning wool, you'll never see me again.
Right, yeah. We're
So-
we're spinning our hair on our heads. You know what I mean? Like,
Brush and tan, making dog coats.
yeah. I'm just saying that. Like, it seems like a thing that seems practical, but it's really not for the amount. Because if you're in an SHTF scenario, you got people that aren't around. So like, all the clothing, like
Look
all
at your
the clothing.
clothes. How thin is that thread?
And we get rid of clothing so often now.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
But-
That's the one thing I don't really worry about prepping
Shoes, totally
for.
different.
Shoes, yes, but clothing, no.
I'm going to just make everybody wooden shoes.
We're gonna
That's
have
my plan.
Clogs.
Clogs. That's
There we
right.
go.
For our Oktoberfest.
And we have like.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
Clogs make good
hand-me-downs.
garden shoes. They make like the little waterproof ones. Little galoshes.
So you have the animals you have, and someone and anywhere can you look back and see what animals you have in the videos, but they were asking what animals you have. But if you had it all to do over again and you just won the Powerball, what animals would you put on your homestead?
The ones I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might add some Brangus, Black Angus, or Brangus, Brahma and Angus cows. Like on a full-blown cattle operation. But other than that, Praise Yah, I have everything I want.
No guineas?
No guineas. Guineas are best off of my property, and I will go over there and kill them.
50 guineas.
No.
See,
I'll
I
let Ken-
prefer
That's not what I
like
said.
the lone guinea was annoying, but like the group of guineas, I think was far better than the.
They're getting big too. They're gonna
No,
taste so
you
good.
are absolutely full of shit with that statement.
As you
Thanks,
told me the other
babe.
day-
50
as you told me
guineas.
the other day, chickens
Damn.
eat the.
50 guineas
Just
are
like the
50
guineas,
times
yeah.
as annoying as one guinea. There's no economy of scale with guinea hens.
No, to me, it's magnified. It's exponential.
Yeah, I agree.
And people don't know, it's like that on Nemo. Mine.
Yeah.
I just think that
Yeah.
you don't hear them. Much like I don't hear backup
Yeah.
alarms on heavy equipment, you don't hear them. I can't
Hear them.
not hear them.
I hear them right
I
now.
don't-
No, you don't hear them the way our brains hear
Yeah,
them.
you don't hear them.
It's very different.
Yeah.
It's like our brains.
I want to
on
murder
fire.
everyone. I want to call in a friggin' airstrike on guinea hens. I'm like, can we get like a high loiter time A10 on these things and just burnt the shit out of this until there's nothing left, please?
This has come up before, and I don't understand the whole people like, are duck eggs kosher? I know ducks are not. Ducks are kosher,
Yeah,
right?
People
Like,
have different views.
people are trying to. I watched it the other day. They try to say
Uh,
turkeys and chickens aren't kosher.
it's bullshit because of Judaism, and Judaism is
Right.
doctrines and dogmas of men. Read your Bible. Go to Leviticus 11. If it's in Leviticus 11, it's good to go. If it's not in Leviticus 11, it's not good to go. Just because Rabbi Chaim ben Shmuel said that it's not good to go, fuck that guy. What does the Bible say? So, sorry, I told you it was going to be an R-rated show tonight.
It's not fun.
I'm in pain, and I've gone through some shit the last few days. So, no, ducks are good to go. Eggs are good to go. Who cares? What does Yah say?
Raincat took some people out on Facebook when they tried to say turkeys weren't kosher. I was so proud of her.
Good.
She was quoting scripture back and forth. She had them. Took them down.
Well,
People used to raise pigeons for food. How do you think it would work? It's the same as those.
Cornish crop or the Cornish hens.
Well, no, not those. The not partridge. The little guys. Quail.
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 Yeah.
Same
Quail.
thing.
That's what I
I think
meant.
it would work great. Milk money, shalom, bless you.
Yeah. They're just little.
It's a small. Yeah, it's little.
Yeah.
You might need 2 of them, depending on how much
Per head.
protein you eat. Yeah.
For breakfast.
Get quiet. Squab. Good morning. Good morning.
Quail are delicious, but they're one of those foods that it's like you burn as many calories eating it as you get from eating it.
Oh my gosh, Justin
Oh,
Bentley.
no,
Here we
Justin.
go.
Oh,
All right.
You shut off the chat.
Okay. Acts chapter 10. The food prohibitions were never lifted. You were taught by somebody that doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They need more drinks. Round of drinks.
Acts chapter 10. And he, verse 11, or we'll start at 10. And he, Peter, became hungry and wished to eat, but while they were preparing, he fell into a trance. And he saw the heaven open, and a certain vessel like a great sheet bound at the 4 corners descended to him and let down to the earth, in which were all kinds of 4-footed beasts of the earth, wild beasts and creeping creatures, and the birds of the heaven. And a voice came to him and said, Rise up, Peter, slay and eat. And Peter said, Not at all, master, because I have never eaten whatever is common or unclean. And a voice came to him again the second time, What Elohim has cleansed, you do not consider common. What Elohim has cleansed, you do not consider common. It does not say, eat the shit that's in the sheet. And a voice came to him again the second time, What Elohim has cleansed, you do not consider common. And this took place 3 times, and the vessel was taken back into heaven. And while Peter was doubting within himself about what the vision might mean, look, the men that Cornelius had sent, the 3 of them, having asked for the house of Simon, stood at the gate, and calling out, they inquired whether Simon, also known as Peter, was staying there. And Peter was thinking about the vision. And the Spirit said to him, see, 3 men seek you. Not see, all food is clean. But rise up and go down and go with them, not doubting at all, for I have sent them. And we can fast forward from there to verse 28. And he said to him, you know that a Yehudi man, a Jew, is not allowed to associate with or go into one of another race. But Elohim has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Verse 35, but in every nation he who fears him and works righteousness is accepted by him. And it goes on in verse 11, and see, immediately 3 men stood before the house where I was, having been sent from Caesarea. So Acts chapter 10 and 11 has literally nothing to do with food. It has to do with the idea that the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, is going from the Hebrews out into the Gentiles. And if you think that's a New Testament construct, open your Bible to Deuteronomy page, I don't know, Deuteronomy 30. Here it is, right over here. It is page 219. And where is it? Right there. There it is. Verse 3. But we'll start in 1. And it shall be when all these words come upon you, the blessing and the curse which I have set before you, that you shall bring them back to your heart among all the nations where Yahweh your Elohim, the Lord your God, drives you. Nations, Gentiles, the people that aren't Jews or aren't Hebrews, and shall turn back to Yahweh your Elohim to obey his voice according to all that I command you today with all your heart and with your soul, you and your children. Then Yahweh your Elohim shall turn back your captivity and shall have compassion on you, and he shall turn back and gather you from all the peoples where Yahweh your Elohim has scattered you. The entire idea that the word of Yah goes out into the nations is from jump. So Acts chapter 10 has literally nothing to do with food. In fact, Peter doubts what the vision was, but there were 3 visions. Do not call what I have cleansed common or unclean. And then 3 men of the Gentiles, the nations, show up at the door. See, Peter was Yehudi. He was a Jew. He wouldn't have anything to do with those people. And the Father says, do not call common or unclean what I have cleansed. And here are these 3 men of Cornelius who were firm believers. They show up. And then just to foot stomp the fact that it has not a damn thing to do with food, read all of Acts chapter 11 in context, where Peter goes, no, it's not about food at all. It's about people, which is the fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecy of the Father's word going out to all the nations. And so what about Acts chapter 10? Read it in context and it makes sense. If you cherry pick that shit like everybody else on the face of the earth, you're going to have basically false doctrine and false teachings, and you're going to be surprised at the end of an age when you do not hear, well done, good and faithful servant, because your faith was a la carte bullshit. How's that for an answer? You asked, I answered. Sorry, I get a little worked up. Want to just go ahead and destroy Sonia's comments? I didn't see it.
719 also states that nothing that goes into a man, as in what man eats, defiles him.
That has to do with ritual hand washing. Read the whole damn chapter. Food was defined in Leviticus 11, and the idea that was done away with is the idea that a lawless son is the redeemer of the world comes directly from Satan, because we've already dealt with a lawless son. There was no lawless son. The prophesied Messiah is not a lawless son. You can have a Jesus that does away with the law. If you want to read Colossians 2:14 completely wrong out of context, go for it. And you can have a lawless son. But understand that if you do that, you are in service to a lawless son, the enemy. The Son, the Redeemer of the world, is not a lawless son. And the belief that he would be is completely extra biblical. It's blasphemous.
Mic drop.
You can go pick up the kids.
Yeah.
Screw
Somebody
them.
else
They
just
can
said,
walk.
I went in to pick my kids from fire practice, and now we're auctioning off bear. What did I miss?
Oh, you're
She's
late.
behind.
You're back.
Yeah.
You're back in the chat.
She's back
Go
in the
on.
chat a little bit. She catch up.
Okay.
Yeah, and that Yeshua did not speak his own words, but of those of his father.
Yeah, he didn't make anything up.
I give you no new doctrine.
Yep.
Forsake ye not my Torah.
Yep.
Okay.
Give you good doctrine, which
Mm-hmm.
is a quote in the Old Testament.
Bear is not the man to challenge on his biblical beliefs.
And they're my biblical beliefs. You do whatever you want to do. Just
You'll read it
understand.
yourself.
Just understand that I won't have mine questioned.
Yep.
Because there's not a thing that I believe or say or do that I cannot back up with that word.
And don't subcontract your beliefs.
What
To Bear's
translation
beliefs.
are you reading?
I'm reading from the scriptures, isr-messianic.org. You can also get them at Bear Independent at our cost. But you can read out any translation you want.
Yeah, we even had a lot of people
What?
asking.
Renee, she needs you. Take that. Go see her.
Bless you, James.
Thank you, Renee.
Colby G, bless you. So that, and I'll tell you this, so much of these questions when they occur, when people are like, yeah, but what about where it says this? Go read it. Why do you need me to read it to you? Go read it. Why do you make me the asshole? Go be your own asshole. Go destroy your own false paradigms. Go read your Bible. Talk to your Father. Pray over your word. Ask him to speak truth into your heart. Have the scales fall away from your eyes. Apply your own wisdom and discernment through your relationship with the Father in the direction of your heart with the Holy Spirit. Why do you need me to be the asshole for you? I got to be honest. Half the time I hate this. I hate having to be the guy that flips his Bible open and destroys your false paradigms. I don't enjoy it at all. And I feel like it turns people off a lot of the time. I'll do it because the Father tells me to do it, but you could just as easily open your word and do it yourself without me. And I feel like the scapegoat sometimes because it's easier to be pissed at me because I say something to you that doesn't feel nice, but it's true. And it goes against what your grandpa or your pastor or your mom or your rabbi or your priest or whoever taught you. And then it's good for you that I get to be the asshole. It's not good for me. I don't appreciate it. I really don't like being put on the spot with shit like that. I'll do it if you ask me, but I feel like I'm backed into a corner. And when I feel like I'm backed into a corner, I come out swinging.
One of the main precedents that we follow is personal accountability and personal responsibility.
Bless you, Dr. Trev. Yeah.
And so anyone who is feeling that way honestly needs to do some introspection. And if the words they're hearing from you are they provoke that, they put their feathers up, okay? It ruffles their feathers, then they need to do some introspection and figure out what their personal beliefs are. And I wholeheartedly believe that Yah has a use for you by expressing these things that other people may not express. But each individual is responsible for developing their own beliefs. And if something they're hearing from you or anyone else challenges that belief, they need to do that introspection and pray and consult with their creator as to whether they need to onboard that or not. But it's not your fault, you know.
Yeah. Personal responsibility.
Personal accountability and personal responsibility, that is massive.
In reality, how often do homesteaders actually mop their floors? Once every few weeks.
And you go, oh.
I refuse to have carpet. It doesn't fare well with mud nor boys. Miss Hermit Hill, you do you. Whatever floats your boat. Things are a little bit rougher around here, in case you haven't noticed.
Well, Homestead people are different kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have white couches and white carpets.
No, for sure not. All right. I'm in a lot of pain. I had another doctor's appointment today on top of all this other shit that's going on. And I'm done. I appreciate y'all, though. I really do. Thank you for all your kind words. Thank you for keeping us lifted up. Thank you for supporting our small businesses. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm not ready to talk about everything that's going on in my life. When I am, I will, but I'm not there yet. And so I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Congrats to the winner, Michael DePriest. Bless y'all. Shalom.